I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist Jared Piepenburg, and we're going to take a look at what's going on here as we head into the rest of June, and it is looking a little cool for the northern plains and upper Midwest. That's kind of the general outlook here as we head at least in the next couple of weeks. We're going to take a look at the precipitation outlook for the lower 48, see who could likely see a little bit more rain than others since it has been pretty wet here, or just very wet for some of us this spring. We'll take a look at the drought monitor. It's still looking quite dry across the desert southwest in the western half of the lower 48. First off, though, we're going to jump in the upper atmosphere and take a look at our general flow pattern here as we head throughout the next week. To start off, it's going to be mainly zonal, just meaning it's going from west to east, almost straight across the lower 48 here, up across the states bordering with Canada. There will be a few disturbances bringing some showers, some thunderstorms out there, but the first half of the work week kind of looking to stay fairly quiet for us. Things change up toward the end of this first week here as we'll start to see a dip in the upper atmosphere kind of along the Great Lakes there. That'll likely bring a little cooler temperatures and some precipitation along the way. As the ridge starts to build across the west coast, expect some warm temperatures, if not hot, and some dry conditions to persist there. There is a wave that'll likely be just kind of sitting off the Pacific Northwest that could keep some temperatures a little cooler for some across the Pacific Northwest, maybe a little wetter at times as well. Drought monitor, well, with all the wet weather we've had here in parts of North Dakota, Minnesota, the northern plains, some actually looking pretty good. Just a few dry spots there for Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa. As you head down into South Dakota, Nebraska, and farther down toward the south and west, that's when you get into the worst drought conditions out there, and still some areas showing extreme and exceptional drought across the southwest. And you notice that it's just mainly the lower half or the western half of the lower 48. So this first week of June here, looking to stay fairly dry across the west. Still some precipitation in parts of the central plains, and farther off toward the east coast is where it will likely be a little wetter. Up in the northern plains, upper Midwest, kind of near normal for some of us here for that first week. And our 6 to 10 days outlook is just going to stay cool here. Notice that's kind of a bullseye across the northern plains and upper Midwest, staying warmer down in the southwest. Precipitation as we go into next week, near normal for most of the northern plains and upper Midwest. Parts of the Great Lakes will likely have a little wetter weather there. So this is looking a little better if you are hoping for a little drier spell for us, since it has been so wet recently. And temperature outlook, as I mentioned, staying a little cooler here in our area in parts of the northern plains, upper Midwest, the Great Lakes states there, just staying below average here into next week, and still warm in the southwest. That's how it's shaping up for the first couple of weeks. And just the month of June in general, looking to stay cooler across the northern plains and upper Midwest. So similar trend here for the next months. The way we're seeing things, the states farther down toward the south, likely will be a little bit warmer in the days ahead, but just brace yourselves for a little cooler June in this forecast.